We are 2 days away from the Beijing Winter Olympics, better known as the Genocide Games. Normally, we're excited about the Olympics. It's all about pride, perseverance and prestige. Not this time, though. In Beijing, it's all about pandemic, snooping and genocide. It's a PR nightmare for China. They wanted these games to be a grand advertisement. Instead, it's becoming a grand disaster. Empty stadiums, no foreign visitors, declining viewership and a so-called pandemic bubble. That last one is the biggest disaster. Usually games villages are lively and colorful. You see athletes hanging around, you see journalists busy clicking pictures. But this is what Beijing's games village looks like. More medics than athletes, more temperature scanners than cameras. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm saying it's a failed idea. Beijing's closed-loop system is turning into a Wuhan virus hotspot. Let me show you the numbers. On January 29th, 34 cases were reported. On January 30th, 37 new cases. On 31st, 24. And on Tuesday, 32. And just to be clear, these are not total cases in Beijing. These are cases linked to the games. We are talking about athletes, coaches, team officials and organizers.
There were 32 new confirmed positives in the last 24 hours. That was 15 from the airport, 17 from the screening program inside the closed loop. That means the total since the 23rd of January is 232 cases, 163 from the airport, 69 from the closed loop.
So the virus is already inside the closed loop. And how big is this loop? Reports say 60,000 people are inside. These people are basically sitting ducks for the Wuhan virus. If this were happening anywhere else, there would be massive outrage. The WHO would call it unacceptable. The Western media would publish op-eds. But in Beijing, there is no outrage. In fact, there is praise. On Tuesday, the International Olympic Committee chief visited the closed loop. He met the athletes and some of the staff. His assessment was not surprising. Clean chit all the way.
We can only feel safe in this closed loop here, and we can only look forward to having successful Olympic Winter Games here in Beijing, thanks to our gracious Chinese hosts.
Thomas Bach may feel safe, but the athletes do not share that feeling. Just think about their routine, shut away from the outside world, nasal swabs every day, coaches and fellow competitors testing positive. It cannot be easy, even for professionals. Listen to this American athlete describe life inside Beijing's closed loop.
You're like just so stressed about, making sure you're as safe as you can be, yet at the same time, there's no way to be 100% safe. There's been a lot of athletes that are testing positive right now. And it's scary because you put in 4 years since the last games. Johnny put in 24 years to get here.
And if the Wuhan virus does not get you, Chinese spies will. This was always going to happen. 3,000 foreign athletes gathering in one city. China simply couldn't resist the urge to snoop. So how are athletes responding? America's Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has a suggestion. Do not take your personal phone to Beijing. Instead, take a burner phone, sort of like a use and throw mobile. Several countries are doing this. 7 national Olympic committees have asked their athletes to take burners. Put together, around 1,000 athletes and coaches are carrying burners. Let that sink in. 1,000 athletes with burner phones. When was the last time you heard something like this? We had an Olympics last year in Tokyo. Nobody brought a burner phone. Nobody was scared about being snooped on. So what's different in Beijing? Simply put, the regime. Every foreign athlete in Beijing must download a health app. It's called My 2022. Experts say it's a hacker's dream. Officially, the purpose of the app is to track the athlete's health. Unofficially, the idea is to keep tabs. What are you texting? Who are you texting? Your emails, photographs, everything. The app also has a dormant censoring system. Guess which words have been blacklisted? CCP evil, Xi Jinping, the Holy Quran, Dalai Lama. In total, around 2,400 Chinese phrases have been blacklisted. Right now, this feature has been turned off, but Beijing can switch it on any time it wants. This is what China is doing to its guests. And the Olympic chief is calling the same China gracious hosts. Fortunately, not everyone is a Chinese stooge. Japan, for instance, is starting a rare crusade. Their parliament has passed a resolution against China. It talks about human rights, the detention camps in Xinjiang, the crackdowns in Hong Kong and Tibet. Japan's parliament has condemned all of it, and this is almost unprecedented for Tokyo. Their campaign was always half-hearted. Why? Because they wanted to keep trading with China. But the new Prime Minister in Tokyo is more vocal. He wants his country to pick sides, China or the alliance of democracies. And this resolution makes that choice very clear. China, of course, is livid. They're calling the resolution a severe provocation. Well, that's the whole point. The resolution is supposed to provoke China. I would say more countries need to step up and do the same, condemn China and their Winter Olympics, because these games are an insult to the Olympic spirit. First, the genocide in Xinjiang was ignored. Now the snooping on athletes is being ignored. Every Olympics is remembered for sporting excellence. This one will be remembered differently. The Beijing Winter Olympics will forever be called the Genocide Games. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.